Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.
I think it's up. This is mechatronics and
Excellency, as you have rightly pointed out, you may recall that on the resumption of duty, I met you and you graciously agreed for the construction of 10,000 housing units in Borno State. Funding has been released to the government of Borno State last October, and within the last 6-7 months so far, 4,000 housing units of this type were constructed. And we are here invited to commission the project for the benefit of the internally displaced persons, people and government of Borno State living in internally displaced country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What is your name? Which class are you? IDP camp. Advance?
The statement is that President Muhammadu Buhari is sincerely, genuinely, and fiercely committed to ending the Boko Haram scourge in this state. In this region, in Nigeria, and in the entire Lake Chad region. He has been providing the motivation, the leadership, and the resources, and he has been collaborating with foreign allies in the Lake Chad basin and beyond. I'm not a soldier, except that of the classroom. But you don't have to be a soldier to know that in a war situation. The sincerity and commitment of the Commander-in-Chief is the first key ingredient to ultimate victory. I'm therefore optimistic that with the ceaseless sincerity of Mr. President, with the gallantry of our troops, of multinational forces, of the volunteers, and with our civilian cooperations and prayers, inshallah, Boko Haram will soon come to an end in the northeast and Nigeria. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that we still have serious security challenges posed to us by Boko Haram and ISWAP. But despite this, Borno State and the rest of the northeast region still recorded significant socio-economic progress under President Buhari's watch. Here in Borno State, we have in 2 years built more than 6,000 resettlement houses, in which we have so far resettled IDPs and refugees in Baga, Kukawa, Banki, Auno, Kauri, Gajiram, Tungushe, Warabe, Goza, Ngoshe, Ajiri, Wulgo, and New Marte across 10 local government areas of Borno State. All these towns were no-cure areas before the coming of President Muhammadu Buhari, and therefore we remain extremely grateful to Mr. President, the Nigerian military, paramilitary, and indeed our gallant CGTF hunters and vigilantes.
I cut my administrative and political teeth when I first arrived here as military governor 46 years ago. while I'm happy to return home, I'm not happy that this visit is not a normal peacetime homecoming. I'm here today, first and foremost, to appraise the security situation in Borno State and the Northeast region in order to move full speed ahead and conclude the work of restoring permanent peace to the region. The attacks launched by cowardly terrorists against military and civilian targets last month and in previous months were a pointer to us that the work of defeating insurgency and terrorism and of restoring permanent peace to this region is not yet over. We will not rest until all the millions of internally displaced persons are able to return and resettle in their homes and rebuild their shattered lives. It is evidence of our administration that the military service chiefs that were appointed this year all either served as theater commanders here or were part of the command operations at one time or another. All of them are therefore personally familiar with the challenge of insurgency. I fully expect them to bring this wealth of personal experience to bear as we move to end this scourge once and for all. The recent successes that the military recorded over the insurgents and terrorists at Dikwa, Damboa, and Goza were indicators that we are consolidating on the previous gains. These notable successes were conduct of careful planning, sustained combat readiness, infusion of new equipment and other war material, as well as quality military leadership. No doubt these successes owe a lot to the role played by volunteers of the civilian JTF, hunters, and vigilantes. These good people include women who are making huge sacrifices and patriotic contributions to our peace restoration efforts. Many of our servicemen and women, as well as these youthful volunteers, have paid the supreme price in this fight to rid our communities and our country of terrorism and insurgency. We thank them very much for their gallantry and their sacrifices. We assure their loved ones that this sacrifice will not be in vain. I must also acknowledge the very important role and sacrifices made by parents, guardians, and other loved ones amongst people of Borno State, the Northeast region, and the country as a whole, who support their sons, daughters, husbands, brothers, and sisters in going to battlefields to defend Nigeria's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and its peace. I thank and commend them for their resilience and assure them success is in sight. It was a mark of appreciation for the sacrifice made by Borno State volunteers that the Nigerian Army was authorized to enlist hundreds of volunteers from Borno State into the Army. I urge the people of Borno State, the Northeast region, and Nigeria as a whole to sustain this cooperation with the military and the other security services. Both must see each other as being on one side in order for us to succeed. Among the sad developments that took place in this region recently was the unfortunate death of our brother and very close friend, the late President Idris Dabi Itno of Chad. During his lifetime, he rendered invaluable contributions to the effort and the search for peace in the Lake Chad region. We again condole with the government and people of Chad Republic over his sad passing. We expect his successors to work hard to restore democratic stability to their country. We also expect them to continue to accord to us the same goodwill and support that we enjoyed under the late President Dabi. My recent appointment of Ambassador Babagana Zulum, an illustrious son of Borno State, as official envoy to Chad and the Lake Chad Basin, is intended to accelerate the restoration of democratic stability in Chad Republic and enhance cooperation among all the countries of the Lake Chad Basin. Let me also assure the people of Borno and the Northeast that we have taken decisive measures to safeguard IDPs and refugees who recently returned from Cameroon and the Niger Republic. They are engaged in the task of rebuilding their communities after more than a decade of war and terrorism. It was part of these measures that I gave approval for the federal government to build 10,000 settlement homes in Borno State. 4,000 of these homes have already been completed. Furthermore, I approve for constant release of food intervention by Nigerian Customs Service and the Northeast Development Commission in order to support displaced persons. I have directed these agencies to sustain and deepen their support. I also wish to sufficiently commend His Excellency Governor Babagana Zulum for his tireless efforts in directly supervising the distribution of food and economic empowerment to IDPs in all local government areas. This effort at alleviating the suffering of displaced communities will hamper the evil efforts of terrorists and insurgents to recruit fighters and spies from IDPs and other vulnerable populations through the use of faulty material incentives. This administration will continue to make concerted efforts towards guaranteeing energy security to all populations across the nation. Maiduguri cannot and will not be left out. To this effect, I have directed the NNPC to expedite the delivery of 50 megawatts power plant in order to ensure the prompt restoration of electricity to Maiduguri and its environment. Furthermore, in the light of the current improvement of security in the state, I have also issued directives for the immediate resumption of oil and gas exploration activities in the Lake Chad Basin. This is part of our overall effort to restore the state back to normalcy. One episode we will never forget in our lives was last year's cowardly attack on defenseless rice farmers in the Maimalari community. I have directed the theater command of Operation Hadin Kai and other security agencies to work out modalities together with the Borno State Government and associations of farmers on ways to improve safe access by farmers to their farms, forests, and fishing grounds. I have also directed the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to accord sufficient support by deploying more agro rangers through collaboration with Borno State Government to secure additional farmlands. I highly commend the Borno State Government for its initiative in deploying the agro rangers. We will extend to it our full support. I have gone round to commission some of the capital projects executed by Governor Zulum in 2 years. I'm very happy with what I saw. The Vocational Training Institute at Muna in particular is a very dynamic answer to skills acquisition and job creation efforts. Such an effort will ensure that in future there will be no store of unemployed young minds for terrorists and insurgents to recruit from. I was exceedingly happy to commission very laudable capital projects executed at the Borno State University. It is the best answer that the decade-long effort of insurgents to disrupt and destroy modern education in this region has come to naught. I have directed the Federal Ministry of Health to liaise with Borno State Government and accord the needed support to ongoing construction of Borno State University Teaching Hospital in the areas of equipment and personnel. Finally, let me, from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the federal government and the people of Nigeria, commend His Royal Highness, the Shehu of Borno, as well as all the other Royal Highnesses and Bulamas at all levels for their very exemplary leadership, patience, determination, and wisdom during this past decade when this land was ravaged by insurgency and terrorism. The fact that Royal Highnesses now operate from their domains is another evidence that peace is being restored to the communities despite the challenges that remain to be overcome. The elders, statesmen, Muslim and Christian community leaders all over this state and region also deserve our thanks and warm appreciation for their resilience, moral leadership, and support for the federal and state governments during these trying times. I wish to reassure Your Highness the Shehu, all the Royal Highnesses, elders, the government and people of Borno and the Northeast region of federal government's relentless determination in the search for peace in Borno, the Northeast, and the rest of Nigeria. We will never rest until peace is fully restored and all displaced persons are settled in their home communities. I will never forget in my life that during my career as a politician, Borno State is where I got the highest percentage of votes, more than 90%. The least I can do for you is to continue the relentless effort to fully restore peace to this state, the Northeast region, and the country as a whole. Thank you once again. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.